Is it ever okay to smoke Wagyu beef? Dun, dun, dun.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yes, bro, because we're going to get into it. So I'm just going to start off. Why people say you shouldn't smoke Wagyu beef? Well,
Okay.
there's a high fat content. It can render too quickly. It can mask the natural umami flavor of Wagyu. Good point. And it's expensive, and people are scared of ruining it, right? Those are some good points.
It's kind of one of the things. People are scared of it. We're trying to make them less scared of it.
Yep. But let me ask you this. When I say, can you smoke Wagyu beef? What do you think? What do you think when I say that? Like, what first comes to your mind? Can you smoke Wagyu beef?
Well, I mean, you're casting a little bit there. Like, you want me to answer like it's A5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's A5.
I swear
you
to
can't
God,
smoke A5.
Bro, if you put that on TikTok right now or on social, people will be like,
dude.
"You're ridiculous."
So
they go crazy.
I mean, there's a bunch of different levels of smoking.
Mm-hmm.
There's hot smoking. Let's break it down. There's hot smoking. There's cold smoking.
Yes.
Right. That's it. Right. So you got cold smoked salmon. You got things that are like a thinner piece of meat that you want to get smoke on.
Mm-hmm.
You got to use a cold smoker. Right. So you have a pan of ice in your smoker, or you're trying to keep that air cool.
Yeah.
Still pick up some of that smoke. So
that's one style, right?
you can.
Yeah. Well,
I think you could probably smoke A5 too if you were really, really, really savvy.
Yeah. That's a good point right there.
That's the hard part, right?
Yeah. But before we get into how to do it, let's give a quick reminder on how many different types of Wagyu beef there are, right?
For real.
Because when we say, "Can you smoke Wagyu?" people go, "A5, you're crazy." Well, you know what? Let's break it down a little bit. Yes, there's A5 at the top, right? A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. There's that type. Then you have right below that, I would say, full-blood American Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
And then under that, you would have purebred American Wagyu beef, which is 93.75% Wagyu. Full-blood's 100%.
Or F4.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know if I want to get into the Fs,
yeah.
man. I think
We don't
that's
get into the
that's too much. So we got A5 full-blood purebred, and we've got F1 cross.
F1,
Yeah,
50-50.
That's the one, right? It's 50-50 cross. Usually it's 50%, generally Angus or Hereford, or and then 50% Wagyu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's different types of Wagyu. So yes, you can smoke Wagyu beef, but what type of Wagyu beef should you be smoking? Like you probably wouldn't take a big $1,000 chunk of Wagyu A5 ribeye, throw it on a smoker, but could you take maybe a A5 round and smoke that?
For sure.
Yeah. So let's get into the different
It goes back to
levels,
the
right?
stakeable cuts. Like we've talked about that a million times, right?
Totally, right? Totally.
So, yeah, you can totally smoke an A5 I round or even a top sirloin or like one of the recognizable leaner cuts.
Yeah.
That's on a regular. I want to say regular cow.
Yep. A non-Wagyu.
But yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, you should totally be able to do that. Even like the full blood that we got from Bar R for Father's Day,
Yeah.
dude, I would smoke that New York strip.
That whole thing. Oh yeah.
It would just be butter.
Dude. So is there like a gauge or anything like that? Like, you know, I think it goes back to all the different levels, the different smoking types. But is there like like full blood New York, but maybe not A5 ribeye?
Yeah,
You know.
I think you're right there.
Uh-huh.
I think you're right there. But I think almost all the full blood
You could get after.
you
huh?
can get after.
I think so too.
Almost all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the A5 fat content intermuscular.
Yet.
It's not like that. Not yet.
We're hearing.
We have seen
Ooh,
some
we've seen
very very nice contenders
It was very close.
in that neighborhood, but
Yes.
we have not seen that in the United States yet.
So, you know, can you smoke Wagyu beef? Yeah, but let's talk about experience here, because you have personally smoked how many different cuts and different levels of Wagyu beef?
So much.
Yes, right? So you've had what? The brisket, you've smoked full-blood brisket, you probably smoked F1 brisket, the New York strip, we do that all the time.
Flat iron,
Flat iron.
culotte.
Ribeye into a nice Wagyu prime rib. Yeah, the culotte. You're right. Yeah, tri-tips. Tons of tri-tips.
Tons of tri-tips.
You've done the whole zab.
Whole Wagyu zabs.
The whole zab.
Those are freaking bonkers.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, of course, you've done like tomahawks and big bone and ribeyes and things like that, at all different levels, right? Like we've had purebred, and we've had full blood,
down to F1,
and we've had all the way down to F1.
Yep.
Yeah, and so all of those different things. Do you see a difference? Like, do you see a difference in smoking style, in how long it takes? I mean, because I think people are worried, like, well, all the fat's just going to render off. If I put my nice brisket in there, all the fat's going to be gone because it's Wagyu and it melts at a lower temperature. You know,
it's true.
Is that something you need to worry about? Like,
but you can catch all that fat.
You can, yeah.
Right, you can catch all that fat, and keep it, and then you got smoked Wagyu tallow.
Didn't Adam from Plum Creek?
Yeah.
So he smoked the
A5
brisket, and I'm like, you have to do that like on a sheet pan, right?
Yeah, and he does. He's just like, oh, dude, there's so much fat.
It's just gonna
so much fat
boil over, dude.
And I don't know if I would even, because the traditional brisket smoking is super, super, super trimmed, right? You probably trim, say you got a 17, maybe 20-pound brisket.
Yeah.
You're going to trim 3 pounds probably off that to get that ready for your brisket application, the Texas style. I'm sure Jeff will probably call me and let me know if it was 2.5 or 3 pounds. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
He'd be like, it's 2.9 actually.
You
Jeff Tyler.
dummy! You should have called me. But yeah, dude, I don't think I would trim. If I were going to do an A5 brisket, I don't think I would trim as much because
you'd be trimming so much.
That fat is technically an insulator of the muscle. And I think the way that I would smoke it would be like, geez, 200?
Just so lower than your normal, 225?
225 to 250, somewhere in there. Yeah. Depending on the day and all the hootie what's-its, but lower and slower.
So why do you trim if you had a nice prime brisket with a bunch of fat, why do you trim it?
That's just the classic technique. And
when you're bad fat, like
no, when you're talking about the Angus, because that's usually generally what you're going to use when you do traditional brisket.
Yep.
That fat's not going to render at the temperature that Wagyu does.
Yeah.
Right? Because Wagyu fat, when we're talking about Wagyu fat, it's like 70 degrees. It starts to melt in your... Like, I can grab it and melt it in my hand if I wanted to, right?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it. I've cut so many pieces of Wagyu that, like, the fat just, like, melts in your hand. And I'm like, hurry up with the video, dude. We got to go.
We got to wrap this up.
We got to get the lighting better in the walk-in so we can do it in the walk-in.
Seriously.
Keep
it cold. So you got to trim it just because it's a classic style.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we like to do it classic here in the U.S., man. People don't like anything different. They like it that classic Texas style, which is fucking awesome.
It is great.
So,
it's great. And there's so many videos out there on
about
trimming,
how to do it. Yeah,
trimming a brisket, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, again, he does his brisket school up there. And
Jeff's Texas Barbecue,
Jeff's Texas. He does his brisket school. Look at the Franklin Barbecue book.
Of course.
Because you can't say brisket in the United States without saying
Franklin.
Mr. Franklin.
What's your favorite, besides brisket? I mean, so many people do brisket, right? And I think that, like, buying a Wagyu brisket is generally going to be a little bit more expensive than buying a prime brisket, obviously. So, like, what are some other things that you've loved to smoke that are maybe, not the brisket, not a whole prime rib or beef ribs? Because we got to talk about beef ribs.
I really like the New York strip.
Yeah, you're smoking like a nice.
When we do the smoked whole New York strip, it is luscious, dude. It's lovely.
So you take that whole loin and you rub it.
I do a little secret brine.
Yep. Okay. Don't tell
overnight
everybody about that. Yep.
Pull it out and do our bovine rub on it.
Mm-hmm.
And just slow smoke it.
Do you trim any of that? Is there more fat on the outside?
Trim a ton on the New York strip. Yeah. So the New York strip has the nerve end on it, and attached to that nerve end is some sinew that actually runs through that entire muscle.
Yeah.
So you could get in there and trim that sinew out if you wanted to.
Okay.
I don't, dude.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the experience. That's a steak experience.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's like
you're eating meat.
there's definitely going to be some sinew here and there on a
Yeah.
muscle. Talking about flat iron, smoking the whole flat iron.
Oh yeah.
That's dope.
You do a lot of Wagyu flat iron, or you've done some Wagyu flat iron.
Is
Yeah.
crazy good, and I didn't believe it. I did not believe it until I did it.
Yeah.
Because all the listeners out there that know anything about a flat iron and know anything about cutting meat is
Yeah.
big muscle, and it has this crazy sinew that runs through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so when you get your, sorry, we're talking about blade steaks
Blade steaks. Yeah.
before the flat
Correct.
iron. So when you go and trim those to make flat iron steaks, you got to go in and take that sinew out. And
Yeah.
it's almost like, I refer to it a lot when I'm teaching somebody how to do it. It's almost like skinning salmon.
Yeah.
You got to get good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go down, you find it, right?
Yeah.
But I was not a believer until I did it. When you slow smoke a whole flat iron
Yes, dude.
in the style of brisket,
Okay.
same kind of way, right? You're gonna rub it, smoke it, get the good color, get the good char. Then you're gonna wrap it, and then you're gonna finish it in the paper, right? Just like you would a brisket.
Okay.
It's not doesn't take it takes half as long as the brisket,
Yeah.
so that's kind of nice too. It's not that commitment, but that middle sinew that you would ever always cut out
Yeah.
turns into like meat jelly.
Uh,
It melts.
meat jelly.
Dude, it melts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's
okay.
still there texturally, like you can see it,
Yeah.
but you can slice right through it, and it's
Yeah. I had some A5
luscious.
flat iron that was just cut straight through. The sinew was not taken out, and I was like, I bought some, and I was like, oh man,
Where'd
what
you
the
get
heck?
that?
I got that at Beast and Cleaver.
Huh?
Yeah, a while ago.
A5 flat iron.
A5 flat iron. They
Was
just
that
took the
just
whole thing and
marbled
cut
as
it
hell?
down. It looked so awesome, dude. And yeah, that sinew, it did. It was like I think I just seared it, obviously, and it did just melt away. I was
Melts
like,
away.
thought I was gonna have trouble. I'm like, oh, I don't know, but dude, that's cool.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So that's one.
You
of
love that
the-
flat iron.
I do, dude. I love it.
So you always talk about
Lets me
smoking things like brisket style, and so we smoke a lot of Wagyu here. So, what other things can you smoke brisket style, like the cheeks? Could you do, like, because Owner from
Oh yeah, I do cheeks
Outsider
for sure.
Barbecue, yeah, he brought those here.
Owner's
Those were-
beef cheeks are
those were
fucking
fire, bro.
Yum yums.
And what else would you do in this? Would you do a chuck eye or anything like that?
Yeah,
in
you
the
could
style
totally do
of
like a
brisket?
chuck eye.
Yeah, or zabuton, a whole zabuton.
I bet you could even do a freaking chuck roll. Honestly,
A whole chuck roll.
a whole chuck roll, but like that's gonna be like 40 hours.
It's gonna take a
dude.
while. Was that like 35 pounds?
So
probably?
generally, what they say is an hour per pound.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing brisket,
and then
right?
add some. Yeah.
And add some. You don't want to invite everybody over and tell them it's going to be ready at 4 o'clock and then fuck up and it's not ready till 6:30.
No, dude. So what is like? Let's talk about that because that is the classic thing. I think we've mentioned this before, but that's always the classic thing, right? Is that you have a dinner party at 6 and you're getting brisket ready, and it hits the stall at 4, and you're just fucked. So like, what can you do? Because we'll talk about the stall. I think in the next segment we talk about the brisket and knowing the Wagyu brisket.
Yep.
But like, what are some tips that you should? Or what should someone do if they say, okay, my dinner party is at 6? When should I start cooking my brisket, and how can I maybe hold it, or how can I ensure that it is totally ready by 6
Quit
o'clock?
opening the door and looking at it.
Okay,
Stop it,
Step
dude.
1. Yep.
There's a bunch of cheater methods out there. You get your meter.
Yep.
We used to have that a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's a really cool Weber insertion that you can do with the wire that comes out, and it kind of gives you. There's a bunch of tools out there
Oh, for sure.
for the weekend warriors.
Yeah, but how would you say I have to have this? Otherwise, I'm losing my job at 6. Like, would you cook it the night before and hot hold it in the oven or anything like that? What is a cheat code?
What's funny about that is like when we do. Hi, Sarah.
Hey.
When we do beef ribs,
Yeah.
we used to wrap them when they were finished, right? So I'd pull them out of the paper,
Yeah.
and we just hold them in a cooler
Yeah.
because they're so hot
Yeah.
that they stay hot forever.
For hours.
In a cooler. So you can do that.
Yeah.
And you get a head start on your briskets and all that stuff when you're cooking for a party or doing something at home.
Mm-hmm.
You can always hold them, get them to that temperature you want them to. Depends on who you are. Depends on how much bite, how much chew, how much texture you want in your meat. I mean, the barbecue pros out there will do the finger test.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows the finger test is you take the flat and you put it over your finger and it shouldn't fall apart or break.
Yeah, it shouldn't break.
But you can tear it apart.
Yeah.
That's the finger test. But whatever that temperature is that you're looking for, once you hit that spot, you can wrap it. You can let it rest at room temperature wrapped for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
But if your party's not going to start for a while, you can toss that sucker in a cooler.
Yeah, okay.
And the temperature in the cooler is just going to hold it there. It's
Yeah.
not going to overcook. Santos.
Yeah.
It's not going to overcook,
Yeah.
right? So you throw it in an oven, even if you turn it down to low or whatever your oven is at home, it's still going to continue to cook.
So if I need to make sure that my brisket's done by 6 o'clock, I'm going to cook it to make sure it's done by like maybe 3 or 4 o'clock.
Sure.
And give myself a little bit of prep
I mean,
time there.
ideally, you want it to rest anyway.
And you want it to rest for at least 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
At
for
least an hour, but you want it to rest 2 to 3 hours.
When I
right?
tell people how to cook steaks,
Mhm.
which I've told you way back in the day a million times, you're now a fucking seasoned veteran. You're a
bro,
fucking
bro.
pro.
It's fucking crazy right now.
Just the chef at Riley's Pizza. over
Oh,
here.
dude, yeah. Back in 2001. Let's go.
Yeah, when you're telling people how to cook a steak, we're not talking about a 20-pound piece of meat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I tell them that you want it to rest as half as long as it took to cook it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. That's kind of a basic
Oh, yeah.
resting 101.
Totally.
Right. Back in the fancy restaurants, I would take my meats up to that temp, put them up on a resting rack, and then I'd slice them, butter, fat, whatever, and just give them a quick little flash in the salamander. That's for service in a fancy restaurant.
We got to do a whole podcast on how fancy restaurants work.
Oh, God, dude.
That would be fucking fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'll start shaking. It's like PTSD, dude.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
like fucking...
Oh.
I've never been more scared in my life.
Dude, watch the bear. It's spot on.
It's pretty accurate.
Oh, dude.
It's pretty accurate. Except for them keeping the veal stock on the top shelf. Like, come on.
All right, back to smoking.
Okay,
Back to smoking.
sorry.
Back to
Oh, we digress.
No, man. I mean, so we'll get into a lot of the brisket, but that's a good tip for the brisket of how long you need to smoke it and make sure you got prep time and everything like that. And even like have you seen a difference between Wagyu brisket and the prime brisket as far as how it cooks, or just more of how it tastes?
It's how it tastes.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar. Yeah, it might cook a little bit faster.
Okay.
A little bit.
Just because of the melting point and
Yeah,
everything.
the
like
melting
that, but
point, the fat melting point, but
That's
it's
a
all
big piece.
about the subtlety
Yeah.
of smoking, and we all learn by mistakes, right?
Yeah.
That's life.
Mm-hmm.
You make mistakes in life, you learn the lessons.
For sure.
You gotta fuck a lot of shit up at home.
You got to smoke a lot of shit, huh?
You do.
Yeah.
You gotta mess it up before
you
you
do.
get really, really good at it.
Until you understand it. Yeah.
So too hot. That's
Yeah.
a problem. That's a thing. Too much smoke.
That's
It's
another
a
thing, right?
huge problem. Like
Yeah.
you're like, ugh. I remember this ding dong. I'm not going to name names here, but this dingaling decided that I don't even know what his background was. He used to be a regular at a restaurant that I worked at, and he would just come in and eat and kind of like try to chat you up and stuff. He decided he was going to be like a smoke master. Right? He's going to be a pit master. This is a couple years ago.
Nice.
And he came in and brought me this brisket. And he's like, I brought you a brisket. Here, tell me how you feel about it. And then I was just like, I took one bite of this thing, and I was just like,
So much smoke.
it's like it was like licking a fucking cigar butt.
That is a problem.
So
dude.
much smoke on it, dude. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, if you're gonna do Texas style briskets, generally use post oak
Yep.
and a hardwood like hickory or
Mesquite,
mesquite or a blend. And we've had this conversation with other people that like they probably wouldn't like what I do here because I use apple and cherry, which is a lighter, more subtle, sweeter, fruity kind of smoke. Other than that real hard like ashtray.
Is that better for Wagyu? I guess it just depends what you're doing,
it's a personal preference, I really think. But for us, of course, we like to use woods that are indigenous, right?
Yeah,
to our region.
for sure.
And cherry and apple are all over the state of Washington.
Yep.
Post oak is not.
No.
Mesquite is not.
Bring that in.
Pecan is not.
Yep.
But I've brought them in and fooled around with all of them and tasted them. And I could tell you right now, if you lit a piece of wood on the smoker right now, I could tell you, like, what are you doing? That's not apple.
Yeah.
That's not cherry. I can smell it.
You got
right
that
away.
super sniffer.
I actually brought in some post oak in the winter.
Yeah.
Because post oak burns hotter and longer to get that smoker up to temp faster.
Yep.
Because that adds a lot of error when it's cold outside.
Yeah. That's a good thing to talk about too, is the elements when smoking.
Yep.
For
sure.
Is it it's hotter in the summer, it's cooler in the winter? How does that affect it? I mean, that's a big thing, is understanding your smoker.
What did Jeff tell us? He brings in pallets of wood from Texas.
Yeah, how many cords?
Oh, so many, dude.
Dude, it was
a lot. It's like a semi-truck load. It's like huge amounts. And he swears by it, and he should, because it's called Jeff's Texas style barbecue. It's not called Jeff's Northwest barbecue, right? So, I know the boys at Wood Shop, they use post oak and hickory. Or is it mesquite?
Is it mesquite? Yeah, because he got his degree in wood.
Yep.
And wood burning it. He's dope.
Where's Matt from? He's from
Kansas City, right?
Yeah. But he does more of a Texas style.
Man,
but the elements have a humongous play in, especially using a pit like ours or owners pit, or Jeff's or the huge ones at Wood Shop. Those things are gigantic.
Well, dude, the owner at Outsider got a new one.
Oh, he did.
He's got two now. It's like
I got to get over there.
20-some footer, dude. Yeah.
Sweet.
It was huge.
Sweet. Ours is only like 7 feet.
Yeah.
It's a little guy.
Yeah.
They laugh at me.
but it's different.
The big boys laugh.
But that's what's different. It's that's what I like about kind of what you do, is that you've done so many different types. And this is why this is a great conversation for you, because if you're talking about a Texas style barbecue place, they're generally gonna stick to the brisket and the beef ribs and things like that. But that's why I like you have so much experience in smoking purebred New York strip, full blood ribeye, F1 cross, Denver, zabuton, all these different. We've done so many different things for the restaurant because we're more of a smokehouse and we're trying different things, and we love Wagyu, so we want to smoke more Wagyu and see how it tastes.
I've even done flanks.
Yeah, you've done the flanks, dude.
I smoked flanks as slow as I possibly could in that thing, which is kind of hard because that sort of has a real consistent temperature. I really can't lower it. But there are different hot spots in there and cold spots in there.
You got to know those.
Yes, you do.
Right?
Yes, you do.
That's a big thing.
That's a huge thing, too. Everybody, all our Traeger fans and our Weekend Warriors, it's consistent as all get out.
Boom.
Right?
Exactly.
But if you have something like a pit, or you have somebody make you a smoker and you start actually doing this shit at home, you got to find out where all the hot spots and the sweet spots are and the cool spots. Yeah. If you're smoking vegetables or say fish or something like that, that's totally different. Smoking oysters, you know.
Well, how do you find out those hot spots?
There's a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, it's a fun way.
The fun way is you load it full of white bread.
Yeah.
Or saltine crackers or something like that, and you let it rip for a couple hours, and you open the doors, and you can see which crackers or white bread are darker smoked than everything else.
That's
and that'll show you all your cool spots. That's the old school tech, but
that sounds awesome. Yeah,
it's fun,
way to do
right?
it.
It's a craft, dude. It's really a craft, and that's what we're gonna get into when we talk about sous vide later. But smoking is a craft when you're using a pit, right?
Yeah.
You got to learn all that stuff. And like I said, you got to fuck some shit up, man.
Oh, for sure.
You do. And even when you really mess something up, you can always make chili. You can always put it in chili.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
that's
going to feed the whole neighborhood.
Oh, that's a good tip, dude. So
Right?
try some shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it up.
Mess
make
it up.
Some chili.
Make some chili, make some soup, make some stew.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Dude, so maybe, before you buy that A5 Ive round or Ossobuco or something crazy to smoke,
figure it out before
more
you do
expensive.
that.
Figure it out a little bit first. Even before you do a Wagyu brisket, you should probably understand your brisket and everything like that.
The A5 brisket still boggles my mind.
It does, man.
It boggles my mind.
It does. What would be good? What would be a good cut to smoke off of the A5 besides of the A5 cow? Besides the Ive round,
top round,
maybe. What about the fillet?
Flat bottom.
You smoked a lot of fillets, right?
I smoked a million fillets.
So fillets, to get off of A5 real quick, because we haven't smoked an A5 fillet, but we've smoked a Wagyu fillet before. And what are some coaching points on smoking a Wagyu fillet? Because I know that it's a smaller muscle, right? It's a little bit different. So.
And it smokes quite a bit faster. It's small. It's not big. Depending on, like, generally when we get our fillets from Pure Country, they're about 6 pounds.
Okay.
Right? And I've seen some Wagyu fillets that are like 9.
Yeah.
Dude, they're big.
Yeah.
We should actually probably do that just to test it out. I bet it would be freaking delicious, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know me, I'm a fillet guy. But,
We love
one thing that
smoking
we
filet.
do here is our special rub that's got the charcoal in it.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna get the smoke char. You're not gonna get the bark because it's such a small muscle. Even if you smoked it super, super slow and low, you're still not gonna get that smoke.
Yeah.
That's gonna give it that really good smoked meat bark, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we use the charcoal rub on there.
Yeah.
It's also fucking delicious.
And it's good.
It's
But also,
secret.
don't you keep it cold before you toss it on
I
there?
sure do, yeah. I keep it
So-
as cold as humanly possible before we put it in the smoker.
Just to give it
So,
a little more smoke flavor.
I mean, if I were doing just one
Mm-hmm.
at home, because we do like 9 or 10 right on steak night.
Yeah.
If I was going to do one, I'd probably even toss it in the freezer for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
before I did it. at
Just to
home.
get it super chilled.
Just chilled. I don't want to freeze it and
Yeah.
mess up that structure or whatever, but yeah, cold as possible.
Okay. Okay.
Pretty much Wagyu everything, almost everything cold as humanly possible before you start to cook it.
Okay. Especially, to get that smoke.
You don't
to get that
temper,
char.
right? So
Mhm.
back to the fancy restaurant thing, you would temper, you have all your tickets hanging and you see what's coming and
Yeah.
you temp all your meats and your fish and stuff.
Get them ready.
You get them, try to get them to room temperature before you sear them all off and do all
yeah.
that stuff. But
Oh, don't give away the secrets yet.
you do not do that with Wagyu.
Yes.
No.
So when smoking Wagyu, there's so many different types. We talked about that. There's so many different ways to smoke and devices to smoke with, whether you have a pit or if you got your Traeger or your Weber. Yes, so to wrap it up, yes, you can smoke Wagyu, but it's, what type of Wagyu do you want to smoke? And what's your purpose? Why are you trying to do it?
And just know your craft, dude. Like I said, you got to know your craft and you got to mess things up and start small and go big. So eventually.
If you could smoke one Wagyu cut, whether it's A5, full blood, purebred, F1 cross, and any cut of the cow, what would you choose? What do you think would be your favorite thing to smoke?
Denver.
Of what type of Wagyu?
F1.
You would do an F1 Denver. You think that'd be your go-to?
It's funny too because like I did do that. I think for a party.
I think
we did. Oh, it was Wagyu and Michter's. It was Michter's dinner. I did a Wagyu tasting.
Yeah.
And Nick, bless his heart, I did the whole muscle, right, which is like this big.
Yeah.
And when you look at the zabutons or the Denver cuts in the case, they're
like
pieces of
little
steak
steakies.
that you take home and sear.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't know that's what it was. I'm like, yeah, the whole muscle is like blew everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Also the tri-tip, dude.
You love that tri-tip.
That fat on tri-tip.
Yeah. So what would you do? Would you do more of like a purebred or full blood tri-tip? Or what do you
full
think?
blood, dude.
You do a full blood tri-tip with the fat on. I think that'd be dope.
I also like a lot the picanha, like a whole picanha,
Okay.
sirloin cap,
Yeah.
because you can score the fat almost like it's a gigantic duck breast,
Okay.
and I keep it upside down to render some of the fat a little bit because it's a big old fat cap on there.
Oh, nice.
But then you can reverse sear it and sear that. Oh, dude.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool-ass-
Okay.
Cool-ass money. That's for
I like
that's
that.
for the New York strip lovers out there
Yeah.
that want to try something different.
You said full blood culotte or
Either probably purebred,
purebred?
full-blood,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like that.
I like that.
You can have that intermuscular yums.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty lean cut. If you're talking, even on Prime, it's
Yeah.
still pretty lean.
It's got that just
But that
ginormous fat cap.
huge fat cap on
Yeah,
top.
it's gonna make up for it.
It's so funny, dude. I used to, Mark Fuller used to make so much fun of me because I would go in on my day off and order a steak, and it was a ribeye. And it was
Yeah.
on the wood fire. Oh, so good, dude. And I would cut the fat cap completely off the steak
Yeah.
and dice it into little bits.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck are you doing? And I'm like, watch. So then every slice of steak, I would just take one piece of fat and one bite of the meat, and like, oh,
Dude, you know what I was watching? You know, I love my Gordon Ramsay, and I was watching the Master Chef, and they presented a New York to him and the judges, a grilled seared New York, and the judges were like, you know, you need to cut that fat off because it's like unusable. It's not servable. And I was like, what? Before you serve it for that New York? Maybe that specific one wasn't rendered enough or something like that. So I could see that, but I was like, is that like a general technique that you would use? Because I love that fat cap.
I do too.
That's awesome.
Funny you should say that though, because we used to do that at Union
Cut the fat.
back in the day. It was in 2005. I moved to Seattle and I was working for Ethan at Union.
Yeah.
And we would completely take the fat cap off and
Yeah.
slice big slabs, like big blocks. And
Huh.
I'd sear it on all the sides and slice it. There was no fat
Really?
on it. Yeah. He wanted to take it all off. And I was
Yeah.
just like, what a waste.
And I will say though, with a full blood ribeye, I usually
So much fat.
cut that fat out. I'm like, yeah, dog.
It's
I got
so
a lot of
rich.
fat in the muscle. I'm good.
It's so rich.
Yeah, I'm pulling that
It's over
fat
the
off.
top.
All right. Well, any last thoughts on smoking Wagyu beef, Chef?
No, not really. I mean, like I said,
pick your style.
pick your style,
Mm-hmm.
mess some shit up.
Yeah.
Know
Don't start with the A5.
your craft. It's a craft. It's definitely, cooking is not for everybody. It's funny enough that I have severe ADD and I have giant patience issues. I'm not a very patient person.
Yeah.
And
What?
you have to be so patient when you're learning how to cook
Yeah.
professionally. And now talking about out of fancy restaurants and smoking and doing, not saying that smoking's not fancy,
Yeah.
but dude, some of this stuff takes a long time.
Yeah.
You have to be hella patient and just relax, quit opening the door, quit looking at it,
Let
just
it go.
take your time. Make sure you give yourself enough time.
All right.
That's a probably good finishing.
Give yourself
Give
enough time.
yourself enough time.
I love it.
There is room for error.
Yes. I like it.